Like, obviously, the answer is like, no, I would not be okay with a
Yeah.
violent sex offender getting access to nukes.
Right.
And if
Correct.
that's the answer, then how could you support Trump for president? Because him being president would then mean he has access to the nukes. So you'd have to say, if you want to vote
Exactly.
for him, that you'd vote for a violent sex offender to get access to nukes.
So, um, there are a lot of things that I just, like question me and make me not want to vote for Kamala or the left side. Like I said, I'm by my computer now, so I can give you more information. Well, one of the things is homelessness. Like I see that like homelessness is gone really ups in Biden's administration, where it kind of really stayed the same over Trump's administration. And I don't know. I think like when people on the left have a lot to say about like ICE and things like that, I understand. I really do understand like the nature of what they've been doing, and I don't really agree with how they are going about their business. But I think a lot of Democrats don't understand just the number of people that Obama deported over his years of presidency. On average, was like 300,000 more people than Trump averaged. So I mean,
Oh,
all I'm
not on a
saying is I
yearly
think there's like
basis. Not on a yearly basis. And even so,
um
and even so,
sure.
oh, hold up. You were saying?
No, I was just I on the Office of Homeland Security Statistics.
Mm-hmm.
It says Obama, and there's also a difference between like removals and returns, which I think is just like forcibly or just not forcibly, if I'm not mistaken. But Obama has sent out far, far, far more people than Trump has.
Yeah, you're comparing
And
more
not,
years to less years.
yeah, it's not just, it's on average too. Yeah, it's like average of Obama's 8 years. So Obama in 8 years sent out almost 6 million people, according to this website, and Trump in 4 years, his first term. Trump, his
Yeah,
first
you're
term, sent
comparing
out.
his first term to Obama.
Sure, well, I mean, it
This
is Trump, and
administration is
it's,
different. Also, the issue isn't just the amount of people that were removed from the country. The
sure,
issue is the
the nature.
process in which they're doing so. They're violating due
And
process to a greater extent. That's why
yeah,
people have a greater issue with this.
sure. And I understand where you come from, and I would slightly tend to align with you in the nature, but I still just don't agree with this idea that like Trump is this person who like is completely different from Obama, and then they both sent out loads and loads of illegal immigrants. Anyways,
Yeah, I mean that would just be one issue, and also I gave you the distinction: due process usage. Like
yeah,
Trump has allowed for ICE to racially profile people. Trump has allowed for ICE to use administrative warrants rather than judicial warrants to search and seize people's properties, which surpasses the judicial side. We can point to countless things that he's done specifically to undermine due process rights in the country.
sure. I hear you. Yeah, well, I guess I understand that. We can go to another topic. I guess we can just go one by one. I also would tend to align with Trump on the topic of abortion, and I guess we can get into that detail here. This is where I
Okay.
stand a little bit more firmly. I am a Christian, and I guess when I say that, I just want to say I hope that just for everyone that they can judge Christianity and judge Jesus Christ for who he says he is, and not some of his followers who are not true Jesus followers, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Can you name one
Anyway,
Christian value that Donald Trump has not undermined?
say that again.
Can you name one Christian value that Donald Trump has not undermined?
Well, excuse me. I did not mean that Trump. Sorry. What I mean by saying I'm a Christian is I actually wanted to say that my value on abortion actually like does not mix with my like actually does not come from my like Christian belief in my mind. And like I know that like sure that's easy to say, that's hearsay, but what I mean by that is like a lot of Christian believers say like, oh, it's a life and it's that and that and this. Here's my stance is obviously like I struggle with the idea of like, okay, like what's actually in the woman? What like is it a human? Is it cells? Is it like obviously at the beginning it's sperm and eggs. Like at that point, that's we can get to night one, like where it started. like that sperm and egg, it's not a human, right? But where I kind of struggle with the topic of abortion is, uh, ironically enough, is like coming from a Bill Burr comedy show, is where he said like when you're baking a cake, like if you take the cake out of the oven and throw it on the ground and you destroy the cake, you like aren't destroying a cake, but you're destroying what was going to be a cake. If that makes sense. And in the same line of thinking, when I think of the topic of abortion, um, I just think of, okay, you may not be destroying what looks like a human to you and me, but you are taking away, like it will be a person, we can all agree that that will be a life, and so like just the same as if I'm 23 years old, if someone killed me
Would it be
today,
justified for someone to throw a cake that they wanted to make, put it in the oven? Would it be justified for them to throw it in the trash?
sure, I hear you, and would
Okay.
you?
If
Sorry,
someone else terminated your pregnancy, we'd consider it wrong. That's against your consent. So, like, if you were to take that cake and throw it in the trash, that's why I don't understand why people use this hypothetical.
wait,
Because if you were to
I'm
literally
sorry.
just take your
What?
own cake that you were making and then throw it in the trash, you wouldn't care, right? But let's just be very clear. Like, we don't value a zygote the same as we do a baby.
Sure, and I understand that, and but like I'm sorry, I didn't understand your last question, but I can also talk a little bit more. I guess like my point is to reinforce is I understand that like I'm fully aware of what's in the mother's stomach for the majority of the pregnancy does not look, resemble, or even like, I mean, it can't survive outside the womb. Like, it's just a fact, right? But I really struggle with um, the notion of that if you are ending a pregnancy, terminating a pregnancy with an abortion, that is.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Sure. Yeah.
Where in the human body does conception occur?
Where in the human body?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure, to be honest. I don't want to give a wrong answer since I don't know.
You did just say the stomach. You know that like the
I'm
baby
sorry?
doesn't like sit with the stomach acid, right?
Sure. I'm sorry.
The uterus is where the pregnancy occurs.
I misspoke. I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
sorry, I lost my train of thought now. My point is like for instance, what I was trying to say earlier is, I'm like 23 years old right now. If someone were to kill me, like that would essentially like take away like my opportunity to live from the year 23 on until however long I would die. And in the same sense, in my mind, like if someone terminates a pregnancy and ends a pregnancy, that is essentially, like in my eyes, like taking away that, um, whatever you can call whatever you want, zygote thing, that future humans opportunity to live a life. And so like, I don't know, that's where I come from. Like that's kind of what I meant by it. Like that's my position where, um, I just still see that thing, whatever you call it, has a future, and it's like taking away the life. And so I don't know. I do stand pretty firmly on this point, I guess. What are your
Okay.
thoughts
Do you
more?
think it's wrong to use IVF in vitro fertilization? Because within the process of IVF, they can discard multiple zygotes and embryos as a part of the process.
Can you enlighten me on what IVF is? I'm not enlightened to
In
what it is
vitro
completely.
fertilization, the process that people will use specifically when they need help, for example, getting pregnant.
Sorry, say that again. I'm sorry.
IVF, in vitro fertilization, it's a process that people will use to help to get pregnant if they need help.
To help to get pregnant.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm I'm just not really aware with
Okay,
that.
maybe
But
you should just look into these things. Look up IVF and IUDs. Those are two things specifically that you would have to say entail murder in order to hold your view. You're welcome to come up on a different day whenever you do that, because I am kind of near the end of my stream at this point.
well, can we just? I guess yeah, I'd love to come on another day. Can we just talk about one last thing before I can hop off?
Go ahead.
Um, I would also just want to talk about pardons. I know that's like been a hot topic, especially like with both presidents.
Hmm.
Again, I want you to hear me when I say I do not believe Trump is a perfect person, nor is he a perfect president. That's and have never said that, but and so like with the whole pardoning and the January 6th thing, I understand that that's an issue, and I'm still kind of drawing my own conclusion on that. But I want to talk about Joe Biden and his pardon with his son, because I like that also just raises some question marks for me, to where like I'll be real with you. I lean actually pretty left on the whole gun debate, right? Like with gun control, I actually lean left on that. And so that's why I actually have a hiccup with this kind of Hunter Biden, Joe Biden thing, because Hunter Biden, to my knowledge, was like trying to purchase a firearm when he was had a history of using drugs, like a drug history. And so, like in my mind, in this country, like nobody with a drug history should be able to own a gun. Like it's just so simple.
You
And
disagree
yet,
with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court actually said that what Hunter Biden did isn't illegal anymore.
right? I mean, in my mind, I don't agree. In my mind, I just think that anybody with a history of drug use just should not own a weapon.
Oh, so
Um,
like for example, if I hit the M drug, specifically the elevation substance, the great thing that's legal in many states, should I be barred from being able to get a gun? If I drink alcohol, should I be barred from getting a gun?
I think there's a difference. I think there's a difference between like amount of use. Um, I don't know. To be honest, I do vote for Trump, but I lean very far left on guns. That actually like brings my point to where I like don't agree with what Hunter Biden did and what Joe Biden did. I mean, like he lied on a federal document, and he like also had the tax problem as
Okay, but
well.
it's not even illegal anymore. So, and so did Trump. Trump falsified business records in the first degree, which is a Class C felony in the state of New York. Isn't that worse than what Hunter Biden did?
I mean, I'll just say I'm kind of I didn't expect you to have such a stance here that supports gun rights. I mean, this is weird. I'm a Republican and I'm
Hey, dude,
leaning left on
I'm
guns.
pro the Second Amendment. I just believe that we need necessary regulations in order to make things safe. In the same way that we
No,
need regulations on cars to make things
the
safe.
way the way you just worded that is exactly what I'm thinking. And in my opinion, the way to make dealing with gun safe is if there's any history in anybody's life of
Wait, let me just be clear.
inappropriate
We
drug
can't
use.
make it safe, but we can make it safer. Is the
Yeah.
point that I would make. Like in the same way
Yes.
that like cars, us driving cars, inevitably it won't ever be fully safe, but we can reduce
Sure.
mortality rates associated with driving vehicles by engaging in certain types of regulations, safety regulations. And I think the same thing can
I'm
happen specifically when it comes to getting access to guns. Now, would I be okay with an extra background check or specifically like mental health checkups specifically for individuals who have been dealing with addiction historically? Sure. I mean, I actually don't really have a problem with that specifically in like hyper specific circumstances depending on the
Yeah.
situation. But like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a whole separate argument and way further than where we are even right now. I just don't think that you're going to be able to get a law like that passed, especially because of the fact that the current administration is not even having conversations about that at all.
I guess I just am confused as to I agree with like exactly how you worded it. As I know we can't make everything completely safe, whether that be guns or cars, but we can make it safer. In my mind, putting a hold on people who have a history of inappropriate drug usage to buy guns to allow them to not own a firearm, in my mind, is the perfect way to make that safer. You know.
Okay, well, I mean, even so, let's say that you think that. I mean, I don't really have much of an issue with establishing that. I used to argue
Sure.
that like it was wrong for Joe Biden to pardon Hunter, but now that it's legal as defined by the Supreme Court, I don't think it was wrong. That's kind of my point. How
All
about
right.
this? Do you think a violent sex offender should be prevented from getting access to a gun?
I would say yeah. I would say yeah.
Okay. So, do you think a violent sex offender should be prevented from getting access to nuclear weapons?
Hey,
Because I think it would be pretty absurd to say that a violent sex offender shouldn't be able to get access to a gun, but they should be able to get access to the nuclear codes. I think that's pretty nuts, right?
I hear you. I hear you. I really want people to understand this. I have never said Trump is a perfect person, and I think that's where I think we can
Wait,
end
but
this
let's pause
debate.
that for a second. Like, obviously, the answer is like, no, I would not be okay with a
Yeah.
violent sex offender getting access to nukes.
Right,
And if
correct.
that's the answer, then how could you support Trump for president? Because him being president would then mean he has access to the nukes. So you'd have to say, if you want to vote
Exactly.
for him, that you'd vote for a violent sex offender to get access to nukes.
I think I can put a bow on this pretty neatly in that I think from Democrats' point of view, or I don't want to assume anybody's view, but I think Democrats maybe just vote for like I shouldn't speak for others. I should speak for myself. I'm not voting for who I think is the best moral character or the best person for president, I'm just voting who I think will make the country a better place for at least 4 years. And so that's where I trust me, I think that Kamala is a better moral person than Trump any day of the year, any week, you name it. But I just, overall, the life of the country, the well-being of the middle-class American is better under Trump.
It's just not. Like, can you name one metric of the economy that's better off right now than it was the end of Biden's administration?
The median household income skyrocketed under Trump's first term, and it really just stayed the same under Biden's term.
Real median wages have grown at a lower rate under Trump's administration compared to the Biden-Harris administration.
So I'm on Fred St. Louis right now. This is a website.
Yeah, you look up real median wages, and if you calculate the change specifically in real median wages, comparing the last year and a half under Biden's administration to the first year and a half under Trump's administration, you see barely any growth, less than 1% growth of real median wages under Trump's administration so far, after seeing multiple percentage points growth of real median wage growth under the Biden-Harris administration.
Well, what I do see on this is that it went from 81,000 to just 83,000 under Biden, so it went up just $2,000. But under Trump's first term, it went up.
Are you calculating the very end of COVID, where it was artificially higher in terms of the median household income because of the fact that we were giving unemployment insurance to people that was above the level of wages that people typically get to then incentivize them not to work? Yeah, you're citing that. Do you realize how dishonest that would be?
Okay. Anyways, I think now we've come to the point where we can just say we disagree and.
Wait, hold on though. Come on.
Sorry.
Like you have to consider that, and also like, in terms of real median wages, I looked at the end of the Biden-Harris administration. I'm not considering the first beginning point of the administration because like you guys wouldn't let me do that for job growth, because the job growth was nuts. The beginning of Biden's administration, but no one would let me cite that. Why? Because it was a COVID rebound, and I agree. But if you aren't willing to let me cite that for job growth numbers and say, oh, Joe Biden's responsible for over 15 million new jobs, well, then you can't say specifically, oh, inflation 9.1%. You can't say a real median household income didn't actually go up as much as what we would have seen otherwise if you look at the entirety of the administration. Why? Because that would have been impacted directly by COVID, right? The pandemic.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't cite that as relevant information. That's why I look at the end of Biden's administration.
Yeah, and I hear you, and I understand that like when like switching terms, and especially with COVID, that makes the numbers pretty messy. And so I know it's not as easy as ABC, and I do hear you there. I understand you. Well, I'd love to come back to you on it and debate another time. I don't want to take too much of your time. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you. Before I do go, you said you're from Iowa, right?
Yeah.
I'm also from Iowa. Where about you from?
I grew up in the QC.
Oh, cool. I'm from Cedar Falls, Waterloo area.
Oh, that's nice.
Anyways,
nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks. Nice to meet you. I will for sure come back on again sometime in the future.
You're welcome. See you then.
All right. Talk to you later.